Looks like we're looking good. Oh, there we go. There
And
we go.
there you are. There she be.
There
Um,
he is. For better or worse.
so you wanted to talk about what was it?
Self sufficiency.
No, I like
Self.
that. I like that topic. I can relate to this. So let's what's what is the self sufficiency?
So, self sufficiency for those who are not, well, self sufficient, um, is being able to do things on your own, not putting something off for somebody else to do that you can physically handle yourself.
Makes sense. Now, what are you referring to?
More or less the lack of the common man to do fairly simple menial tasks. Now, is it the lack of ability or the lack of wherewithal to handle it, or is it just plain laziness, or are these people just not taught?
Okay, so where are you coming in at on this conversation? Like
I'm
you,
thinking it's more of a socioeconomic thing. So more along the lines of people weren't taught. So you've got all your busy parents. You know the I mean, we grew up poor-ish. I mean, so whenever there was something that needed fixed around the house, we had to do it ourselves. Whether it was fixing a car, fixing a broken sink, fixing a toilet, structural shit. Most of the stuff that we had to do because we were broke, we had to do ourselves. And so you learn the right and the wrong ways to do things, and you get it done. Now, if you're, fucking gin bottle apple snuff the third, and you've got a silver spoon crammed up your asshole, chances are pretty good you've never had to do that.
is that what? I'm laughing at the Jim Bobble Applesmith. Is that what it is though? Like the you. All right, keep going, keep going, keep going. I got it.
So, like, it's even gotten to the point where young men have taken to YouTube to be sort of virtual dads for younger people, which is, I think, a great thing, a fantastic resource for people. I mean, teaching kids how to tie a tie, how to fucking wire an outlet, simple shit that most people should know how to do.
Okay,
Now, so whereas the parental aspect of it might not necessarily be there, there's still the the information is there. That you can find it. You can look up how to do this shit yourself, right down to fucking automotive repair. I
that's
mean,
true.
you can
That's
get
true.
step by step fucking slideshows on how to rebuild brake calipers.
So here's my question then, B. You're saying that people are putting okay. We got a couple different things here,
Oh, we
but
got a whole bunch of
what I
different
want to
things,
point
but I'm
out
gonna
is
let
that
you run with some of it.
people are putting out more content than ever to do this shit, right? We talked about AI last time and how AI helps you if you know how to use it properly with certain stuff, right? So
Oh, we're gonna
there's
get into that in a minute.
there's more ability to do things than ever. Let's put it this way. And then there's more options, for example, because you can go show me how to change the muffler on a 72 Ford Pinto, and there's probably a video on YouTube of how to do it, right? There's probably a
Mm-hmm.
video of some guy who's got something, who has something crazy and obscure. So because there's that, do you really believe that people are less self-sufficient then, or do you think it's more that just some people are lazy and you're coming into contact with them?
See, and that therein lies the problem of my viewpoint on this is I'm strictly like dealing with people who are on the customer end of the service line here. So like I was a mechanic for years. I do building maintenance and things of that nature and locksmith stuff. I mean, but like the amount of people that are willing to pay me a ridiculous amount of money to install a door handle that they could put on with four freaking screws in 15 minutes. So is that laziness? willful ignorance, or do they just have too much fucking money? Yes, absolutely. Rates are high there. Rates are high.
Okay, all right. Well, here's what I want to say about this, because this just kind of reminded me, and that was, you mentioned how we were somewhat poor. Let's just call it limited. Okay, we were limited. That's the truth. We were limited, whether or not it was
Yes.
financial, whether or not it was time. But
Socioeconomically.
I love to think of that time as a time for us to use our imagination,
Oh,
right?
for fuck's sake, our imagination.
Imagination. And
Okay,
so,
so where were we able to use our imagination when you moved into your parents' house and like I was sneezing and coughing black boogers from asbestos and like decades worth of
listen,
filth from the house we were
that's
fucking getting?
that's character building right there. But
That's character building.
what I'm saying is that, like, I think some of it in some way, like, okay, I see it from both ends. I appreciate the fact that somebody has put that obscure video online, and I want to do that too. I really want to share things that people aren't thinking about, or maybe they are but they just didn't write down. Like, there's tons of things that I go, hey, did somebody ever try this? Because for me, I'm still thinking in some of those. Remember, we talked about poor mindsets and stuff like that, but I still think of things like that and go, look, I got $50. How do I make this fucking solution work? Well, I can do this and this and this. I don't got 10 grand to blow on a custom built blah blah blah, but I have certain things that can work, and I love finding those solutions, which is again part of the whole imagination. But there's the
Yeah,
aspect of sharing that, and that people are doing that. So I'm saying, I think dealing with customer service, because some people are just straight up assholes. Let's pay it. A lot of people are straight up assholes. It's still, but they've always been assholes.
yes,
They've
that's
always
fair.
been assholes. I mean, like, seriously,
100% that's fair.
they've always been assholes. There's always going to be assholes. So it's like, we always have to deal, especially in businesses or places where you have to deal with people, right? If you're in customer service, if you're in retail, if you're in service, I mean, you deal with people. I mean, technically you deal with corporate more than, I would say, pure, like, it's not like residential, right? You're not dealing with
I do
resident.
residential. I
Okay.
do
All right. So
residential. I do commercial. I do contract work, and I do governmental shit. It is fucking bananas because there's very few people out here doing this kind of thing. I'm one of I think three guys in the area that actually do this shit.
then you should be charging more. You should be charging more then.
That's
That's
not my business.
it should
I don't
it
own the business. I don't have the overhead. I'll work my 40 hours. I'll go the fuck home. Um,
I get it. I get it. But what I'm saying is that, like, when you see people and you interact with people like that, you really have a clientele that you have to deal with. And when you deal with, like, everybody from commercial to residential, or, just like John Q Public, you're gonna have a lot of assholes, right? You're gonna have a lot of assholes. And you're gonna have a lot of those people that are like, look, I worked my 40 hours. I don't want to have to change a fucking lock, even if it's easy to change a fucking lock, even if there's guides on how to do it. I think a lot of people, though, some people are still in that, like, well, either I can do it because I want to do it, or I can do it because, hey, it's a skill to learn. Like, you and I kind of have that, like, I want to learn how to do it. Also, maybe I don't trust this guy over here to do it. There's a lot of different reasons. I
Also, that guy wants way too much fucking money to do it.
And that too. And that too. Like, I mean, I know you, and I am the same way, and we're spiteful bastards, and it's like, fucking $30. Get the fuck out of here. That's a $5 piece. I'll fucking do it myself. Oh, I broke it. God damn it. It's a $10 piece. Now I got it. Third time's the motherfucking charm. And
Oh damn.
don't fucking call
Yeah.
me again. No, I do that too. And I think, again, if you look at the cost of things, if you think about things in cost in certain ways too, it's almost like
Go on this. It's good.
you save money by, even if you break it and redo it, you still save money by learning things, or by creating, or by even the raw cost of, like, hey, I got to replace this. I fucked up the first one, but the second one's so good that now I know how to do this. I know exactly. Even if the tools cost me $30, I have the tools to do it again or just do something else. And if I need to make it better, I can make it better. right? Like I know how to cut this, break this, do this, and now I have a super powerful whatever the hell I was doing instead of just a standardized one. And then sometimes that makes life a lot better for you too, right?
Very Tim Allen of you to want something with more power. Very home improvement.
I
You
mean,
know,
that's that's what gets me excited, right? That's what gets me rock hard in the morning is thing.
that's welcome to a hot rod life. This is a guy with a fucking classic car.
Right.
You know, he's trying to make it go faster, make louder noises.
I don't
more
know.
tire smoke.
I don't know of anybody who doesn't have like this is a larger question, but it's like, you know how people are like I want to work, right? Even if you have all the money in the world, you still somewhat are inquisitive. You're curious. You're
I think it's more of a fear of boredom. Though. I mean, people just get so like hung up. Or I just don't want to be bored. So they spend their entire days like fucking watching TikTok or fucking YouTube and not actually accomplishing anything.
we have to get back to that accomplishing things.
Right.
Get back to
Getting
accomplishing things.
Getting something done.
That's not how it's done. That's not how it's done.
No,
okay.
That's not how it's done. I'm sorry.
That's
entirely my fault.
I didn't want to get back into that whole social media is the devil thing because I feel like we say that too much. But it does take a chunk of your time. It does take a chunk of your time when you're sitting there staring at a screen instead of doing something. Now, on one hand, it's extremely useful because you can find those videos that you need, or you can ask AI, or you can do this. But on another hand, like paying attention to something too much and not getting shit done affects the bottom line. Like
100%.
I could have
Going back to that bottom line thing, though, you briefly mentioned like buying something because this guy wants too much to install it, and that's 100% part of the issue. I mean, the gateway that is guarded by fucking sheer monetary cost is huge. I mean, what's a set of screwdrivers cost? Like $25 for a cheap set of screwdrivers. You can get like a whole array of them for that. So by the time you go to the fucking hardware store, get your $25 fucking screwdrivers, pick out your lock set for $30. You're $55 in the hole, or you can pay me $140 to come out and put one on and key it to an existing fucking key that you've already got, you know, from 10,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Butter knife smooth, and you still want me to key that fucker? That's.
I would spend $139.99 not to have you come to my house. That's how spiteful I am.
Precisely.
Over. I would spend $179.99 to not do that because, like I said, sometimes you have to do it 2 or 3 times, and you're like, God damn it, I fucked it up again. It's broken. Now I can't fix this shit.
100%.
That's but
that's part of like where some people have problems with the actually accomplishing something is the fear of fucking up. So, I mean, for things like cars, yeah, you fuck up something good enough, boy, you're gonna hate yourself for a long while.
So do you have a fear of fucking up then?
Yes, absolutely, 110%. So, particularly when we get doors in from wherever the fuck we get them from, they can be like a blank sheet of fucking wood. And I gotta figure out where the fucking window goes. I gotta figure out where the fucking lock set goes, where the hinges go, how all this is supposed to work together. Lay it out, drill holes, which are permanent.
You can't undrill a hole.
You can't undrill a hole. You cannot undrill a hole. And at the best, if you fuck it up, the only thing you can do is try to cover it up because the door hopefully still has some structural integrity. But I mean, my first week doing this job, I mean, the stress and the paralysis that was associated with it was fucking substantial. But you know what? You fuck up a door, you figure out a way to fix it. You fuck up a lock set, you blow it apart, you do it again.
So
do it again.
Do you think that is another aspect that we might be missing is the ability to do it again? You know, like you just said, you fucked it up, you got to do it again, right?
Well, I mean, and when it's somebody else's money, you know, that's the problem because somebody's not going to want to pay for your time that you spent fucking up. Which, don't get me wrong, I totally understand that and totally agree with. But that's still my time. That's still experience that I've had that you couldn't be bothered to put forth yourself.
Well,
Fuck you, pay me.
that's another thing is like, yeah, time costs money. Like I don't
Okay.
know if we realize that, but that's another aspect of mine that it's like, I don't care if it costs me 30 hours if I can actually like do it. Like that's the whole reason why I started building shit in my house or, working on my house is because first of all, I couldn't find a contractor that I could do it or would do it. It wasn't necessarily even about the price. It was just like, well, I got to call somebody from, say, Buffalo to drive an hour down, and then they're gonna want, a minimum of $10,000 to do something when I need to, like maybe it's $1,000, 2,000, but it's not 10, right? Or it's like, look, I only want to.
And that's an issue with living in like a smaller locale or a more rural area. You don't have fucking choices.
Right, right, and so
And
so
they
it's
just cost more.
it's me going to the store, buying things, doing it twice, three times because yeah, I'm gonna fuck it up. But also my time of learning that is like, okay, well now I've got to fucking fix this and fix that, and you get on this thing, the light bulb goes out, you go to get a screwdriver, the drawer's loose, you go to get the oil to lubricate it, and then you go.
God. We can get into the whole Project Creep thing later on. Too.
What are you doing? I'm changing a fucking light bulb. Right.
What are you changing a light bulb for? You were supposed to be replacing the doorstop.
Right.
What?
Yes.
But on the plus side, after the project, you got a fancy new tool you can play with.
That's what I'm saying. It's our like if you're in the correct mindset of I can keep going, I can keep. Then afterwards you're like, well, hey, look what I got. Like okay, so the project's done, and now I got this fantabulous tool. Like you were talking about pulleys, right? Pullers. What the fuck were you talking about? You don't.
Yeah, gear pull.
Gear pull. You're right. You needed a gear puller, right? Yeah. I mean, if you got one, right? You bought one or whatever. I'm sure you can find another use for one, correct? Like you're going to use that again.
You always need to pull something off of your crank,
right? And that's how we get back pain. But you build like, I mean, I have tools again in my house that are like, I was there last weekend and I was looking at all the shit I had and I was like, damn, I have a lot of fun shit here. I haven't used some of this in years, but I still have some fun shit that it's like, I'm kind of looking forward to the day that I will be able to use that. Right? Like I'm going to use this someday. I'm going to use this again, but it's exciting in some senses to be like, cool. I have stuff that's going to be entertaining.
The gadgetry aspect
for me,
having something that's tangible, that is a tool that has proved itself useful at one point or another. And now, like going back to the whole fear of fucking up thing, like I'm working on an 89 Chevy pickup. I'm working on a 71 Riviera. The pickup is fairly common. I can find parts pretty much anywhere. So if I fuck that up, I feel bad because that's money down the drain and I got to get it back to figure out somehow to get more parts for it. But if I fuck something up on that Buick, I mean that body style of that Buick was only made 3 years: 71, 72, and 73. That's it.
I don't do this for a lot of stuff, and I know a lot of people do this too, but it's I like having I have a problem with like if I get something, I have to collect all of it, right? Like you got to have this and then you got to have that and you got to have like the set, right?
Do not invest in micrometers because that is a very slippery slope that'll eat you alive and it'll eat you alive very quickly.
And I find that I have to do a backup. Right? Like I have to be like, okay, I've got my good one.
I got this one.
I got my good one. Right? Or maybe I buy the cheap one first and then I buy a good one, but I'm not touching the good one. I'm going to beat the fuck out of the cheap one. Right? Cause then I got
I know what I'm doing.
I got my backup, but I've always got my backup. And then, 10 years later, you're like, why do I have two of these fucking things?
And then you bust out the new one that's still in its wrapping paper and you're like, oh, this thing is tits.
Right. All right. See,
it's like, why was I dicking around with this hunk of shit for all these?
Why didn't I use the best one that I had? Why did I dick around with the stupid one? And it's almost like a spiteful thing too. It's like, no, I'm going to use this one. I can't break out the good one. Can't break out the good one yet. Can't break it. It's not time for the good one. I got to keep that one nice and set. The good one would have fucking saved you half an hour if you just you know.
Just because you don't have to fuck with it, because it's better made, because it's more precise, because
And
it's
that's
got the right feature set.
and I don't know if that's a learning thing or if that's again that poor mentality or whatever, but that's just one of those things where I find myself going, why the fuck, why, my stupid ass, you know what I'm saying? Like, why the fuck didn't I just use the best one that I had? Because that makes the most fucking sense instead of cutting corners with the cheap one. Because I was worried about wasting the good one, right? Or like,
well, I don't want to break my good one. I mean, I just got it. I
but
mean,
the
it's never the
fallacy.
shiny.
That's right, but that's part of the fact. Because if you use the fucking good one and it does a good job and it does actually break, then you just buy another good one because that's the point, right? That isn't that the if you use it enough, it's worthy of like this is a really good one, and instead of fucking around with the stupid cheap one all the time. It's yeah. So I find myself doing that a lot. So
with the door stuff that I do, I mean, when I first started the job, I had this cheap little shitty slide square, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So it's got the a sliding ruler across the top of it, if you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Now, I used that for about 4 or 5 months. Now, over that time of 4 or 5 months, the little nut that applies tension to that fucking ruler that holds everything in place, if you're using it like a feeler gauge or whatever like that, to, this is where it is on this side, I got to make sure it's the same thing on the other. So, measure here, bring it over, lay it out over on this one. Well, after 3 months of that, the damn thing was fucking wore out. And it was just this cheap Johnson thing from fucking Lowe's. And I'm like, why the hell am I fucking fighting this goddamn thing? I went online, I found Starrett. Now, Starrett is precision fucking measuring equipment. It is good shit. If you don't know what it is, take a look. They've been around for fucking over 100 years, I think. But I mean, just the instant you touched it, you felt it was like.
I know exactly.
Kind of shit.
That's exactly the story. It's exactly the same fucking story that I have, where it's like I use this old beat up, the markings are wearing off on it because you wanted to save your good one, and then or you didn't want to buy it, and then you're like, why the fuck didn't I use this from day one? From day one.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I won't get those 3 months back.
It's just my ass suffering. It's only me suffering too. On top of that, right?
Nobody else is paying the price. It's just me. Am I really worth $125 that's going to cost for a 6-inch square?
Yeah. It's
at the end of the day, it saves me fucking time.
Yeah. I fully relate to those statements. It's just part of I wonder, and if you are watching this, please comment on this video, because it's like, how many other people do the same shit too? Is this just ingrained into this our demographic, or is this everybody? This is the way that everybody feels about this? Because I know certain people, I've met other personalities that definitely don't think the way that I do about it, and I'm fascinated by. I'll tell this story. I'm gonna have to be general with this, but I know this guy who just it's like he has an unlimited budget. Now he doesn't, but it's like he does, and he's buying the craziest top of the line high end stuff, and he doesn't spend the time putting it together. Oftentimes, I'm the one who's putting it together and finishing it, going, "This is amazing," but he doesn't put the time into that. He moves on to the next idea, and so his mindset fascinates me though, because it's like, how do you think like that and not finish? How do you not you've got the idea, you've got the concept, you just didn't finish.
That's where project creep kind of comes into play, because you start working on something and you get an idea, and that idea gives you a rush. Yeah, it gives you that endorphin hit or whatever the fuck it is. But then, like, completion of it, it doesn't get the guy's rocks off. So it's just like, well, I need the next new idea to give me that dopamine or whatever the fuck. I mean, it's like the whole fucking thing. I mean, I went into working on the rear axle of that Chevy truck. Just gonna do a brake job. Just pads, drums, throw it back together. Well, pull the drum off. Well, shit, the axle seal is open. Well, I guess I gotta get an axle seal. So how do I get at the? How do I get this damn thing apart? Well, you got to take the differential cover off. Well, you pull the differential cover off, take the seat clip out, to pull out the axle, and you're like, Well, if I'm gonna do that while I'm in there, I might as well replace the bearings because those are original to the car. Okay, well that's fine. So pull that off, go in there, take a look. Oh shit, there's a bunch of metal shavings down in the bottom of the differential case. Well shit. That means I need fucking spider gears. That means I need bearings. Ideas are like fucking. But like fucking, and that's where you're finding the things that are wrong can be infuriating. I mean, don't get me wrong, it can be a pain in the ass, but at the same time, it's like fucking A, get to fucking fix it. But other people, they'll get into a project like that, and they'll see things just piling up, not necessarily being fired up over the fact that they got to replace something, but they've got something that's another expenditure that they've got to pay for that they weren't anticipating. I believe the term is a can of worms. If it's a can of worms, you don't want to fucking open it. Just leave it be and turn a blind eye to it. I don't fucking see it.
But that's also where people do all that shit. They leave it fucked up and then just like, I gotta sell it at a discount. And then the people who know what they're doing can come in and go, hey, cool. I know exactly what that is. I know exactly how to fix that. I can buy it, enjoy it, flip it, whatever, right?
But I mean, where the monetary loss is, though, is that person has sold something for less than what they could have gotten out of it. And then if they had spent that money in fixing it, they don't have that car payment for the new vehicle that they've got to fucking buy now because they're saying, oh, this was too far gone and I don't want to work on it.
One man's trash is another man's potpourri or something.
One man's trash is another man's TikToker.
It could, you could use that, but I kind of like when I was younger in high school. I mean, I really thought about the way that the economy worked, and it's like benefits only happen when somebody else loses. Somebody's losing money when you're gaining money, technically, right? You get a coupon, somebody's losing money. And that's the extreme, but in the stock market, if you know somebody's tanking over here and you're gaining over there, you're taking their money. That's how that shit works, right?
That is an effective transfer of funds. Is
right. So we have to just participate in this and hope that our best ideas don't end up fucking us over. But see, now we're talking about project creep too, because I bet you have a shit ton of projects on your shelf, like I have a shit ton of projects on my shelf that I haven't finished, or maybe I don't know how to finish, or maybe it's going to be, but I'm
don't you fucking judge me. I'm not
refusing to give up on them, refusing to just toss them because you know that one day
you do is you're gonna be like, I'm gonna fucking get to it.
You could fix it. You could fix it.
I'm not relying on somebody. I mean, there are some things where if I know I'm out of my element and I know I want a professional fucking job, something where fucking drywall. People say drywall is fucking easy. I could never make drywall look good to save my fucking life.
I don't possess that skill either, to be honest with you.
So my dining room when we first moved in, fucking the drywall was already up. I had to remove part of the wall, close it off, and redo one section of it, but I don't know how to fucking mud and tape. I don't have the skill set. I don't have the patience. I do not want to deal with the goddamn dust. I mean, when you're done, yeah, let me know. I'll fucking paint it, whatever. But like,
I can
did in 4 days what would have taken me at least 3 fucking weeks. To me, that's worth it.
Right. I can put the drywall up. I can frame and drywall, but the mudding and taping, that's not for me. Unfortunately, Amy liked that, so that made it a little easier for us to kind of like go back and forth. But if you were to say, hey, you finish everything, I'd be like, well, there's going to be some lumps in there. It's going to be a little lumpy, but if you're okay with
look a little like oatmeal.
If you're okay with that, then that's cool with me, right?
No, we see this wall every day. It's got to be perfect.
Right. Yeah. So
you're gonna want somebody else to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of, but see, that would be the point of knowing where your limitations are. We're not putting these projects on the shelves because some people will go, I have this wall that I haven't completed for 7 years and because I'm going to get around to it one day, right? That's how people, I know that that's a true story that somebody just told me she was like, "Oh yeah, my kitchen. My husband ripped open a hole in my kitchen, and we lived like that for 7 years." And I was like, 7 years is a bit too much. That's a bit too much.
That's almost grounds for a divorce.
That's a bit much for me. Like, I can go 6 months. I can go with maybe even a year, and under explainable circumstances of like, well, we were broke and yeah, we really need. But 7 years is like, okay, who's fucking around now, right? So
100%.
knowing your limitations of like, hey, we got to fix this, we got to do this, or I can't do it. I got to give it to Chat GPT. Hey, Chat GPT, write this code for me, right?
That motherfucker, Jesus Christ.
That's where I find that those things help, is like, I can look at that and go, I don't want to spend 3 hours busting my head against the wall. How do I make it easy? Well, I can make it easy, and I pay $20 a month for Chat GPT, right? That helps out.
So, speaking of Chat GPT,
you should pay for YouTube Premium, Brandon, so you can go on YouTube Premium and not have to watch ads, so you can watch all the car videos you want. That's what I'm saying. That's the concept, not necessarily AI, okay?
Well, no, not necessarily that, but like I tried taking your advice, right? I tried. I genuinely tried. So, working through, I downloaded Chat GPT. I started using it. Now, daggum technologicals, I asked for it to create a bidding, BITTING, which is your pin layout for a set of keys. So I need a grandmaster that'll open everything. Then that is going to be issued to the director. I need a maintenance master, which will open everything except for the director's office. And I need 4 department masters. And then I need that's 5 department masters. And then 7 to 10 individual keys per department. All told, it's around 31, 32 different key cuttings. And you don't want Joe Schmo to accidentally be able to get into the director's office because his key pins just happen to work out just the right way. So I'm trying to explain how locks work to Chat GPT.
How did that go? That sounds exciting. You should. Oh my god!
Not great.
Why didn't you record this process? Why didn't you like screen cap and type this in? Because I can see, like, I need a camera on you as you're typing in and getting redder and like banging on your keyboard trying to explain this, because this sounds amazing.
It wouldn't even set up one. So I'm like,
did it not? What did it not understand the parameters?
It didn't understand the parameters at all for a Schlage keying system. Now, after I explained it to it, because I apparently know that more than AI, I can't be the only guy who's fucking doing this for lock stuff. I refuse to believe that. I want it to create this master system for me so that way I don't have to spend 6 hours arbitrarily just like trying to figure out where things go, or spend $600 on fucking the specific software that they actually want you to pay for to do this shit. I'm like, well, no. I mean, if I can. And so my time is gone. I have no more time. I have someplace else to go. I'm ready to chuck the freaking phone across the room because this thing got me so goddamn pissed off.
I'm almost done.
One sec.
Mine was not going to take it for mine.
Okay. Give me like just a few minutes. I'll wrap this up.
Sorry, B.
So with the Schlage system, there you have your bottom pin and then your top pin. So much like in your relationships, you got your top and your bottoms. You know, I know how you guys work over there. I'm not judging. I just know how you guys are. Anyway, so say you've got a number 2 bottom pin. That bottom pin is a 0.195 in the Schlage system. Now that uses a 0.015 interval to go from a 2 to a 3. 0.15 is not very big. 0.015 is not very big. Excuse me. And so, based on that element of security, Schlage takes it and says, well, we're not going to give you a 1 pin. The next step up from, say you've got a 2 pin, you don't get to go to a 3 pin. You got to go all the way up to a 4. So it's a 30 thousandths difference between the two. Just to make it sure, just to make it so that way these two different keys will work. Hey, there we go. Attaboy.
I even spelled
Yeah.
it wrong.
So a
It
lot
says-
of this I'm pretty much sure. Okay, we'll ask it to create that fucking very specific bit.
Okay, all right. So what is the question? I says I'm planning a master key system. What's my question? I'm asking it.
I would like a bidding array, BITTING, for a grandmaster,
Okay.
maintenance master, 4 department masters, and 7 change keys per department master.
Wait, hang on. Grandmaster, maintenance master. Say it again.
5 department masters, and let's say 10 change keys per department.
10 change keys per department. I spelled some things wrong. Let's see what he says. 6-pin cylinders for Schlage SC4 keyways. Proper bidding array must avoid max. Maximum adjacent cut specification, Schlage 7. Follow a bidding sequence.
No,
Ensure.
Schlags go to a maximum of 9.
Okay, well, here's a sample bidding array plan. 6 pins, Grandmaster bidding. Here you go. Does that make sense? Watching you stick your face in.
No. No. If you look at cut 2 with MMK and BMK1, see cut 2. MMK and BMK1. Look at cut 2, see how it goes 4 to a 5?
Yeah.
That's a 1 step. Have that.
Okay, all right. So
So
did you get this? Hang on. Did you get this?
That exact no.
But did you
not that far?
did you get a bidding array at all? You didn't get an array.
No.
Okay. So then the question might fall on the operator error here because I was able to get an array. Now the array may not be correct, but
it's not complete either.
But we're getting close. We're getting close, okay? It's Spreckensy closer, okay? It's
Spreckensy fucking douchebag with a dag-nab technosexuals.
it can happen, B. You just gotta stay at it. You gotta stay at it,
Nah,
okay?
it's too
Listen.
frustrating. I'll sit down with my pens and
It's
paper.
wait, hang on. It says right here. Do you want a spreadsheet? Do you want a spreadsheet or printable chart form? Would you like to restrict key duplication? Do you have any preferred cuts? I mean, it's close.
It would need no key
It's-
duplication.
It's close.
It would need no accidental access.
Listen,
I mean,
if you rubbed it, you can get the answer. If you rub it a little bit better, if you get used to,
I need an adult.
if you get some
I'm
lotion,
scared right now. I need an adult.
if you get some lotion and you get the
I'm not gonna
proper
put it on the skin.
the
I'm
proper
not gonna
hand
put it on the
motion,
skin.
okay? The proper, and then it solves the problem. It solves the problem, B.
Now the only instance, maybe that, and we might need to take a look at that what you just had because maybe that's for. I need to see the whole thing because you can create a hierarchy within the system, so it's a whole thing. But maybe that one wasn't intended to be able to give access to that. Pulling off by one.
Listen, look.
pretty problematic.
I'm liking the fact that, like, as we go on show after show, I'm getting you more accepting of ChatGPT. Maybe by show 300, you'll fully accept it. But we're getting there, bit by
It
bit.
is what it
I'm
is,
not-
But the Google AI is even worse. Though.
I'm not giving
Have you
up.
ever talked to that shit? The
I'm not
Google
giving
AI
up.
is fucking awful.
No, and you know what? Here's the unfair thing. I pay $20 a month for this, but I use it. I use it a lot, so I find it worth the value that I pay for it. So
Yeah, and if any locksmiths are watching this shit, don't at me. I don't fucking care. I understand.
please,
how this shit-
please at him. Please give him shit about this. I don't
am
locksmith.
not on-
Please,
I'm not on the socials.
I'm going to put
Okay,
locksmith tags under this so that way we get a couple to give.
Fucking- Yeah, we are not gonna- we're not gonna do a fucking philosophical and textual
Yeah,
argument online with these people who-
I hope we get some comments, some spicy comments today. All right.
Are we not done with this piece of
We're
shit?
done. We're done. We're done. Okay. We're done. This went well. This went well.
Fun fact, we're about a quarter of the way, well, not even a quarter of the way, I'd say about maybe 3 minutes in, and that computer turned off. So this is what we've got.
Okay. Well, that's what we got. That's what we got.
I mean,
Fun fact.
Hope your audio's good.
Fun fact, you didn't shut off. So how about that?
I'll take it.
Fun fact. So,
Fun fact.
all right. Ready?
Wait.
3,
Yes.
2,